Joseph Smith's first vision stands today as the greatest event in world history, since the birth, ministry, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. In the official version, promoted by the LDS Church, Mormons are taught that a local revival prompted a 15-year-old Joseph Smith to pray about what church to join. While praying, Joseph claims he saw Jesus Christ and God the Father, who told him not to join any church, for they were all wrong. If true, this vision is significant, as Jesus' apostles teach us that no man has ever seen God the Father. Apostle John says, "No man has seen God at any time." Apostle Paul says about God, "No man can approach, whom no man has seen nor can see." God himself told Moses, "You cannot see my face, for no man can see me and live." Ironically, Joseph himself gave a revelation that no one can see God without the priesthood. And without the authority of the priesthood, the power of godliness is not manifest unto men in the flesh. For without this, no man can see the face of God, even the Father, and live. Yet, Joseph claims to have received the priesthood in 1829. 9 years after, he claimed to have seen God in the first vision. This contradiction makes sense when we realize that Joseph Smith's first vision story was a later invention. Joseph Smith claimed to have received this visitation in the spring of 1820. But it wasn't until 1842, 22 years later, that he published it. For all those years, this monumental event is never mentioned in any local, family or church record. It's as if it never happened. Church historian James Allen concedes it would appear that the general church membership did not receive this information about the first vision until the 1840s. Furthermore, Joseph evolved his story over time. His earliest accounts differ from the published version on several key details, such as when the vision took place, his reason for praying, if there were local revivals who appeared to him, if he was overcome by a dark force, what was said and not said. Joseph's earliest version, he wrote by hand in 1832. For over a century, the church kept it vaulted and never formally published it. But why? Because, in this version, he only saw Jesus. And before ever going to pray, he already knew that all churches were wrong. Joseph's next version of this event was recorded in his 1835 diary. This time, he says it was actually a vision of angels. On November 9th he recorded, "I saw many angels in this vision." On November 14th, he calls it the first visitation of angels. To cover this up, the church entirely omitted the November 9th entry from its history of the church, and replaced visitation of angels with first vision from the November 14th entry. The official version, published in 1842, was canonized in the Pearl of Great Price in 1880. The first vision is the crux of the existence of the LDS Church. Without it, the claim of being the restored church falls apart. Mormon prophet Gordon Hinckley said, "Our whole strength rests on the validity of that vision. It either occurred, or it did not. If it did not, then this work is a fraud." But, with no other witnesses to this event, all we have is Joseph Smith's word. If this monumental event were true, we would not expect Joseph to wait 22 years to publish it. Joseph loses credibility when he can't keep his story straight. That the church went to great lengths to suppress, omit, and alter his earliest versions is telling. Get your copy at mormonhandbook.com.